Victor Echo 4 Bravo Delta Echo here. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. One of the other things that I like to do, collect old Game Boy stuff, and I've been modifying my Game Boy consoles to backlight them and just kind of spruce them up a little bit. So today I'm going to start the modification of the Game Boy Pocket. I got 3 units here. These two, this one I used the LCD from. Basically going to keep the back of this unit because it is in better shape and replace the front with the front from this unit and use the LCD from this guy here. The back on this one's pretty beaten up. And I'm going to do a little bit of a collaboration of a bunch of different things. I've modded a few in the past. I've got my MGB. I got backlit Game Boy Pocket display in this one, and some backlit red buttons, glass screen protector. The case is a replacement shell off the internet. It's been recapped. The only thing I got to do, I got to replace. There's a few caps right under here that are causing a little bit too much pressure. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but it's causing the center to bow out, and the screen protector is kind of coming up on the corners. So I've got to remove those capacitors and either relocate them or find some smaller ones. Glass screen protector. Then I got my Game Boy Colors. I got the one that's kept original, no mods. This was my first backlit, or frontlit, I should say, Game Boy Color mod with Loca. This one actually failed, and the front of it got messed up because I got some Loca on the front, and I managed to smooth it out. So it's a little bit blurry, but it's definitely playable, for sure. Not quite as bright as a good one. And then my Game Boy Dandelion Yellow with clear buttons, and the front light on this one's spidered, so I'll have to do, you can see the difference in the brightness between the two, and this one's a little bit clearer. I'm gonna take this apart. I managed to do it with the GBA, that one's spidered as well. I just heat it up with the hairdryer a little bit and pull them apart and reapply Loca. This one I actually used my UV curing lamp, and it didn't work as well as letting it sit in the sun. So I'll just have to take it apart and let it cook and redo it, let it cook in the sun for a while. And then of course I've got the Game Boy Advance, which is also front lit, and I did some fun case lighting on it. That one, glass screen protectors on these two as well. The parts for all these guys, aside from these buttons, were all bought from Handheld Legend online out of the United States, and the buttons were bought from Kits Bent. And then my final Game Boy Advance mod, I'm going to get a white Game Boy Advance and replace it with a GBA SP backlit display, and give it some blue lit buttons. So basically I'm going to take all these mods that I've kind of done here and do them to the Game Boy Pocket, which is basically going to be my ultimate Game Boy mod. It's also going to be a little interesting trying to jam all of the stuff that I plan on putting in here in the tiny little case, which is why I've got this one here. This was the original donor Game Boy that the LCD came out of. There was something wrong with the motherboard. It was all flaky, didn't work properly. Buttons were intermittent, and there was voltage issues. So I just took the LCD from that one. That was the original LCD that went into this Game Boy, but the ribbon cable got ruined when I started recapping it. So this LCD ended up going into this Game Boy, and this LCD will now be the LCD for the Pocket mod. So this is basically just a parts unit now, and I'm going to use it to allow me to jam some of the hardware in here during testing to see if I can, and maybe have to relocate some capacitors or something to make sure everything fits without fear of ruining a good unit. So we're going to start off. I'm going to start off with button backlighting. I'm going to take these all apart, get the good parts. I got a glass screen protector for this one as well, which I will put on at the end. So I'm going to start off with the button lighting on the back of the chassis, wiring that up, getting that all set up. I've also got a backlight for the display, and it's a red, green, blue backlight. And instead of doing the traditional mod that people have shown online with the jumpers or dip switches hidden behind the battery compartment or whatever, I've purchased a couple binary ripple counters, and I plan on building a small board that'll allow me to cycle through in binary with a little switch that I will probably mount up at the top here somewhere, little push button, and that'll let you cycle through all 7 colors and off by counting with the binary ripple counter, and I'll drive the LED backlight with transistors. And that'll be more or less pretty well it for the mods for the Game Boy Pocket. So we'll have the backlit, nice backlit blue buttons, glass screen protector, and a red, green, blue backlit display in the silver case. It should look pretty awesome when it's done. So we'll move on to put the other hardware here away, and I will move on to starting the buttons.